Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Back from Atlanta, where the Falcons have won the toss, and they will receive to take on the Tampa Bay Bucs this afternoon. Mike Smith, in his sixth season, has done a wonderful job turning around this organization, but having a tough time this year with a 1-4 start. And both teams desperately looking for a win today. And for Atlanta, it won't be easy, John, because these aren't just inactives. I mean, these are big-time players out of the lineup today.
Well, they are. And the real interesting thing is going to be watching this young receiving core. Harry Douglas has to step up. Guys like Kevin Cohn and Drew Davis, not household names. Those are the guys Matt Ryan's going to be thrown to today.
Vincent Jackson's going to get thrown to by Mike Glennon, and Greg Schiano's going to be watching it all, still looking for his first win of the year. It's been a trying season for Schiano, but, you know, John, I think you talked about it in the open. There is a sense of, you know, maybe going in the right direction here with Glennon. The team feels confident. We talked to the players. But right now will be the Tampa defense on the field, as Michael Kanan will be kicking it off after Atlanta did take the toss. Jacquizz Rodgers, the diminutive speedster, back deep for Atlanta. And we are underway as Kanan boots one that'll go out of the end zone. And so the Falcons will take over on their own 20-yard line, led by this man, Matt Ryan. And yeah, the Falcons have struggled 0-3 their last 3 games. It's not because of the quarterback, that's for sure.
And in many ways, I think his season's even more impressive than last year, going 13-3. This offensive line, they've been inconsistent. Matt Ryan only sacked 9 times, though, a testament to how quickly he gets rid of the football. You look in the backfield, really missing a void with Steven Jackson, Roddy White, and Julio Jones all out of the game.
Talking about those skill position players, 13 combined starts. Tony Gonzalez, 243 career starts. There's a difference there. And they give to Rodgers, who gets eaten alive by Lavonte David. This Tampa defense has made some big plays this year, led by David, who is performing at an all-pro level. And along the line, you see the rookie Spence McCoy is their big guy up front. He just pushes the pile all the time. But these linebackers have made headlines.
Well, he's a game wrecker, as is Lavonte David, who's all over the field, does everything well. And in the back end, they've invested a lot of money in Darrelle Revis. Mark Barron playing excellent football as well.
That's Mason Foster, the middle linebacker. It's Ryan on a 2nd and 14. And he has a short completion over the middle to Harry Douglas that barely gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Lavonte David on the tackle, looking at a 3rd and long.
Lavonte David, his skills on display early. This guy's a fantastic football player, and if you like linebacker play, you're going to enjoy watching this young man play. He does everything well, plays the run, coverage. He'll sack you, he'll intercept you. Big-time football player is Lavonte David.
David, John, is the only player in the NFL with at least 30 tackles, 4 sacks, and an interception, just to back up your point. 3rd and 10. Ryan has time, slings it near side to Douglas. He's going to be shy of the first down, though. Darrelle Revis was there to play it well. 7-yard gain, and Atlanta 3 and out on their opening possession.
A lot's been made in Tampa about how much zone defense they're playing with Darrelle Revis. But one thing Darrelle Revis does, you put him in man, you put him in zone, he's going to have an answer for you. An excellent tackler is Darrelle Revis. We just saw it there.
Matt Bosher will punt it away for Atlanta. It's Eric Page, the free agent from Toledo, averaging a little over 11 yards per return for Tampa. They got a good push and push the blocker back into Bosher. And Page gets a block and slips down to the 45. Outstanding field position for the Bucs on their opening possession after a 13-yard return from Page.
And Kevin, that's his own man. Dakota Watson does a great job of pushing Bosher's own man into him. And as a result, no roughing the punter.
That was Dakota Watson who got the pressure. So here is Mike Glennon and the Bucs' first road game for Glennon, his 3rd NFL start. Fake to Martin. Pressure coming. Glennon unloads it deep, looking for Jackson. Adjustment, can't come back to it. Incomplete. So John going down the field on the first play.
Yeah, and you got to love that. Unsuccessful shot, but you've got defenses saying we got to stop 22 Doug Martin and make the rookie beat us. What a great way to back that defense off by taking a shot early. Vincent Jackson, a guy you love in one-on-one situations. Only thing Glennon has to do there is give his big man a chance to go get it.
They had Jackson working on the rookie Desmond Trufant out of Washington. On a 2nd and 10. Martin wrapped up, nowhere to go. Trufant came on to make that initial tackle for this Bucs offense. It has been banged up on the offensive line all year long. That has been an issue. Carl Nix, their outstanding guard from New Orleans, has been out, just had foot surgery from MRSA, so that's the problem on the offensive line.
It's a group that's been very inconsistent, that they had high hopes for. Doug Martin not having success from last year. The big development last week was the emergence of Timmy Wright, the tight end, at the tight end position. That really opens the wide receivers outside.
That tells you a lot. This Falcons D hasn't gotten off the field. Blitz coming. Glennon in trouble. Down, sack, fumble, picked up by Atlanta, and off to the races they go. It's Deku, and it's a touchdown.
William Moore is going to come from up top, right up that B gap between the guard and the tackle. Mike Glennon has to protect the football. It's Massaquoi who actually gets the hand on the football, and William Moore. And there's Thomas Deku. Turnovers are something that had not been occurring for the Falcons like they did last year. They addressed that. They emphasized it during the bye week, and it paid dividends early here today.
Meanwhile, this Falcons defense, they have not done that this year. That's only the 5th takeaway all year. It was a big point of emphasis when we met with them on Friday, and that's a way to start. Did pretty athletic play, by the way, by Deku to pick that up on the run and keep it going. 30-yard fumble return and an early lead for the Falcons. Make it 7-0.
Well, turnovers the way you win football games. William Moore gets it out. Desmond Trufant. Thomas Deku takes it to the house.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Right, human Europe. Back in Atlanta, and the defense taking it away for only the 5th time this year. They were great at it last year, and that's been a big difference in the record this year, quite frankly.
And Thomas Deku, he's a guy that in 2012 was all around the football, causing turnovers, creating turnovers. He's back at it.
Page going to take it on the bounce and will wisely take a knee. Tampa takes over on their own 20.
You want to score touchdowns? You want to do great things on the football field? What do you do before the game? You go play a little hoops, little finger roll. Got the free throw. He's getting dapped by someone who's not there, and then he takes it to the house. Thomas Deku, excellent player. He's a playmaker for this defense.
Wait, I'm sorry, but the best thing about that whole thing, he's shaking hands after hitting the free throw. That's amazing. I mean, he's slapping hands after hitting the free throw. I love it. Here's Doug Martin on a 1st down and a good run. He's got 4. And Doug Martin is a guy that Tampa really needs to get going, and it isn't for lack of trying, John, that's for sure.
No, he's got plenty of carries. You see the amount of touches he has rushing the football. It hasn't been there, and nothing's wrong with Doug Martin, believe me. This offensive line needs to just get him going. If you just give him a little bit of space, he'll do the rest. Offensive line's been very disappointing for the Buccaneers in 2013.
2nd and 6. Glennon fires it over the middle. It's dropped. Good throw, but Jackson dropped it. We've got our first game break of the day with Joel Klatt.
All right, thank you, Kevin. You guys aren't the only one with a defensive score early in the ball game. Sam Bradford, where is he throwing that one? To Captain Munnerlyn, who intercepts it. He heads down the rail. He will stay inbounds and take it all the way back to the house. 7-0, Carolina up over the Rams early. Back to you, Kevin.
Joel, in the industry, we call that pass a duck. That's what that was. 3rd and 6 for Mike Glennon and the Bucs. Blitz again, flags fly. Might be Jeremy Zutai.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 19, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, Mike Williams, you're going to see him as the split in. Little bit of movement, that's enough to get the call. The officials all over it.
Well, there's one thing you don't want. 3rd and longs on the first 2 series with their rookie quarterback. Another blitz, it's picked up, and he's got a man this time. It's Crabtree, the tight end, and it's good for a Buccaneers 1st down.
Well, Crabtree is a guy they had high hopes for. They went and got him as a free agent from the Green Bay Packers this year. Just a simple check and then run a little shallow cross across the middle. He beats bar 2. Good accurate football by Mike Glennon. Tom Crabtree does the rest.
The Bucs have their first down. Maybe calm the nerves of Mike Glennon a little bit in his first road start. It's Martin. Martin finds a hole up the middle. He's going to pick up 5. And Doug Martin, you hear the term carrying the load. Well, he's done it more than anybody in the NFL.
He's carried a big load, and you got to worry about, I think you got to have in mind big picture. Doug Martin is a compact guy. He can take a lot of pounding, but that much. And the Buccaneers did communicate with us that Mike James and Brian Leonard, they're going to get some run today to take some of that load off Doug Martin.
Watch Chris Owusu, bottom of your screen. The Bucs are really high on him, just coming back from a high ankle sprain. 2nd-year man from Stanford. Running, looking his way instead of Jackson, who can't one-handed. So there's been 3 times already in this game that the Glennon-Jackson combo hasn't worked.
And Vincent Jackson, frankly, has dropped 2 of them. Vincent Jackson, an excellent football player, targeted 14 times by Glennon last week. So Glennon likes throwing to him. You got to help your rookie quarterback out on the road. His first start on the road. You put him in these tough 3rd down situations when you have drops.
On a 3rd and 5, Glennon's got time, and he's got Jackson this time, but what a tackle. Asante Samuel, not normally known for his tackling, stops Jackson short of the 1st.
Well, Mike Nolan varying it up. We've seen a lot of pressure. This time he rushes 4. Trufant gets picked, but here comes Asante Samuel, not known as a physical cornerback, but when he needs to be, Asante comes up and makes the tackle short of the 1st down marker.
And so Canaan will punt to the rookie Robert Alford out of southeastern Louisiana. It's his first game returning punts. Harry Douglas, the normal guy, because he's starting today, they're taking him out, and Alford has explosive speed. He had a 75-yard punt return in college. Good boot by Canaan. Alford fair catch, and so Atlanta will start on their own 14-yard line. When we come back, Matt Ryan, 2nd chance to take the field. It's Falcons in the lead, 7-0 early.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Falcons up on the Bucs 7-0 early. A defensive touchdown, their 2nd one of the year. Thomas Deku with a 30-yard fumble recovery and return to put them up. And so Matt Ryan and his offense on the field for the 2nd time. They went 3 and out to open the game. It's Rodgers. And Rodgers gets spun around in the middle and then suplexed at the 19. As Akeem Spence, the rookie, brought the shifty Rodgers down to the ground. You know, John, this Falcons offense, we touched on at the beginning, but boy, they are really down a lot of guys. And when you look at Julio Jones out with the foot surgery, Roddy White, though, you think about what it takes to get him out of the lineup. He had 133 straight games played until today.
And he needed to rest for a while, though. He hasn't been right since preseason. The second game, high ankle sprain. Wasn't playing Roddy White type football. Now they rest him with a hamstring and a much needed rest.
And Rodgers is going to bring Atlanta to a 3rd and short. Sean Goldson came in to make the hit.
See Tony Gonzalez right there. Levine Toilolo is a rookie from Stanford. What do you do when you're missing 2 receivers? You bring in 2 tight ends, and Toilolo is a guy that they're very high on. We obviously know about Tony Gonzalez, but this is something that Dirk Cutter, the offensive coordinator, said was coming. They like Toilolo's skills and what he brings to the game. Stands 6'8".
3rd and 2. Blitz coming. It's picked up, and they got a completion to Douglas for a first down. Douglas working against Jonathan Banks. He's out to the 34-yard line. It's a 12-yard gain.
This is like an isolation play in football. You load the trips to the right, and then you just go one-on-one. You got a rookie cornerback in Jonathan Banks who struggled last week. The back shoulder fade to Harry Douglas. And remember, Harry Douglas has played a lot of football with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan very comfortable.
Look at Rodgers picking up the safety there, Barron on the blitz. Falcons bring in an extra lineman, and they give to Snelling. Good hole for Snelling, but this one is coming back. There's a penalty flag. And you look around, and Jeremy Trueblood saying, what did I do?
Holding, number 65, offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Oh, he did that. A hole. So the former Buck will get the penalty, and nice run is erased.
See Jeremy Trueblood in the top of your screen right there, and he gets a Jeremy, offensive lineman, they never think they're hold. It's like DBs and PI. That's a tackle, not a hold. But Jason Snelling, he's a guy I think they need to run more. Without Steven Jackson, he brings a bigger presence to complement Jack Wiz Rodgers.
Looking for the slant, incomplete. That was interesting. Going at the rookie Darius Johnson, working against Darrelle Revis. They just activated Johnson from the practice squad yesterday.
Well, and people in Tampa have been crying for more bump and run lockdown coverage from Darrelle Revis. Well, there you got it. Up in the face. We're so accustomed to seeing Revis do that. Revis Island up in New York. They've been playing him a lot of off coverage. Right there is the bump and run everyone's used to seeing Darrelle Revis play.
25! Check!
Ryan pressured, in trouble, and just throws over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Gonzalez, but he got heavy pressure there and had to move around.
Really neat cat and mouse game there. You see Mark Barron come down into the box, and Matt Ryan goes to check to the pass, thinking we've got an 8-man front. Barron backs out, and so he kind of outsmarted Matt Ryan right there.
The Falcons looking at a 3rd and 20. Coming into the game, Atlanta very good, even with all the injuries on 3rd down. 44%. That's 6th in the NFL. Got to get to the 44. And they're going to throw a little over the middle here. And Johnson makes the play, but he's well shot of first down. Levante David made the short-handed stop again, and Atlanta will punt it away.
See Levante David, such a good tackler in the open field. It's a skill. Football today is played in space, so it's necessary to have linebackers that can tackle in space. Levante David fits that bill.
You had to pick Pro Bowlers today. He's on the team. And Bosher punts it away. Good spiraling kick. Page is decked immediately. Wow. Antoine Smith with a terrific special teams tackle, but that wouldn't have been possible without the 50-yard beauty of a punt by Bosher. You want to see special teams? How about this? Boom. Got to have some guts to play on that team. 7-0 Atlanta.
This sponsored by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. By KFC, the official sponsor of couchgating. KFC plus football equals couchgating. And by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Visa, turning football fantasies into reality.
Well, you take a look at Anton Smith. These guys, they're called gunners. They earn their money in the NFL. Double teamed. He uses the sideline to his advantage, and then all-out speed and a nice punt from Bosher. That's excellent special teams play. Something Mike Smith, in addition to the litany of things they worked on and emphasized during the bye week, special teams, that's where they've always been really good.
People saying at home, well, wait a second, you could run out of bounds and do that. If you go out and you get shoved out, as long as you take a direct path to come back in, you can't kind of use the sideline and just run the whole sideline down. So Smith did that just fine. And so the Bucs backed up in their own territory after the special teams play on a 1st and 10 from their own 14. Glennon hit as he throws, looking deep for Mike Williams, but he had heavy pressure that time, right in the face. Malachi Goodman, the rookie from Clemson, was right there, but there's a flag as well. This one out in the secondary.
Pass interference, number 22, defense. First down.
See Asante Samuel working on Mike Williams. Ball's in the air. You can't chuck him down there. Good call. But Malachi Goodman with a vicious hit. Devin Joseph. They've been leaky in the interior of this offensive line on pass rush. Goodman going after it.
That's Tim Wright in motion. We had a career game last week. Pressure again. They're going to set up a screen. They got room. Martin shimmies and shakes out to the 39. I thought that could have gone even farther than that, but Atlanta did a nice job to close the pocket. Joplo Bartu and Akeem Dent were there.
Well, it's a great call by Mike Sullivan, the offensive coordinator. They're going to bring pressure. They're going to bring 5. What do? You go with the screen. Like I said, you give Doug Martin just a little bit of a crease. He's going to make positive things happen for you.
Did pick up 7. And to give to Martin on a 3rd and short, he goes nowhere. Nowhere to run that time. It's O.C. Umenyiora.
See O.C. Umenyiora going to be right here, going to be unblocked. Player like O.C. Umenyiora, who's played at a high level for a long time, you got to account for him. But that's what people are doing to the Buccaneers. Rookie quarterback, Pro Bowl running back, and Doug Martin. Let's stop him. Let's put it in the rookie's hands. Mike Glennon's got to throw him out of it.
3rd and 4. Glennon's got time near side. That time Jackson makes the catch. He's got a 1st down for the Buccaneers. The 5th time he's been targeted. Had a couple of drops, but he hauls in the 12-yard gain.
Well, one thing you know about Mike Glennon, he's smart, because Vincent Jackson's a big-time wide receiver. He's got Vincent Jackson working against the rookie in Desmond Trufant, playing the slot. They made a change there, putting Trufant in the slot. What do the Bucs do? They move their veteran wide receiver to the slot and work against the rookie.
No.
Bucs go 4 wide on a 1st and 10. 4-man rush, and Glennon fires it in there, and another drop. This time it's Crabtree. Joel Klatt has another game break.
All right, thank you, Kevin. And we go to New York. Tom Brady got his favorite target back. Gronkowski back after the forearm and back injuries. He takes it down to the 1-yard line with his 2nd catch. And Brandon Bolden, 1-yard TD run, ties the game up at 7. Kevin, Gronk is back.
Oh, yes, he is, Joel. Meanwhile, drops, a big problem. Already 3 for Tampa. And they bring in an extra offensive lineman, Gabe Karimi, in the game. And that was Lloyd, the fullback, in motion. Here's Doug Martin. Tampa sealed off the edge, and Martin has a good run on 2nd down. He's going to pick up 6.
That's so critical in 2nd and long situations. Really what every offensive coordinator is looking for. Let's get half of it back. Let's put us in a good 3rd down situation. You get in 3rd and 6 or less, it really opens up that playbook for Mike Sullivan, the offensive coordinator of the Bucs, and Mike Glennon.
Sullivan up in the box for the second straight week. He had been on the field for the last 2 years as a coordinator for Tampa, but switched it up after the bye. Likes it up there. Tampa may have jumped. There's the flag, and that's not going to count. They got movement on the left side from Donald Penn. That's 5 yards.
False start, number 70, offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
And in so many ways, that play just typifies the Bucs season. You work hard to get in that 3rd and 4 advantageous third down situation. Donald Penn, in my opinion, playing well this season, makes a mistake. Now you got a rookie quarterback in his first start on the road. We've seen drops, we've seen penalties, sloppy football by the Buccaneers.
8.6 penalties a game for Tampa, second worst in the league. Only the Jets are worse. 3rd and 9. Blitz coming. It's picked up. Lennon's got to have somebody, and incomplete. Robert Alford made a heck of a charge in that ball against Jackson, but Jackson helped knock it away, and the Bucs will punt.
I tell you, heck of a job by Brian Leonard, the running back, picking up the blitzing Thomas Deku. Gives Glennon all the time, but an excellent break by Robert Alford. He's been the addition to this secondary in their sub, their nickel package. He's coming in. Trufant's moving inside, going toe-to-toe with Vincent Jackson, a big-time receiver. That's a great play by the rookie.
And Alford is the guy will get back and try to return this punt. Fair catch on the first Cannon punt. They'll let it bounce. And the Bucs will take over right around their 17, 18-yard line. So Matt Ryan will be looking for that guy, Tony Gonzalez. Falcons up 7-0 in the first. Goes. What a win last night for the Boston Red Sox. Shane Victorino with the grand slam, and it's the Red Sox and Cardinals in what should be an awesome World Series. Game 1 from Fenway Park will be Wednesday. Coverage on Fox, 7 p.m. Eastern with a Fox Sports Live World Series special. That's on Fox Sports 1. Then it's the first pitch, 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox. Carlos Beltran's first time in a World Series for the future Hall of Famer, and that will be a whale of a series.
2 great baseball towns, Boston and St. Louis.
What a win for the Red Sox last night. Yeah, that was Max Scherzer's got to be having bad dreams today after pitching another gem. Here's Jacquiz Rogers, and Levante David, who is everywhere, makes the tackle after a short pickup of 2. I think if you're watching at home, John, you say, well, they're missing Roddy White and Julio Jones. You know they're good. Do you know they're that good?
That's a lot of numbers, but that's because these guys put up a lot of production. With Matt Ryan, it's been the big 3. It's been Gonzalez, Jones, Roddy White. They got to make up for that missing production. That's a tough task for the Atlanta Falcons.
Tampa shows blitz. Pitch to Rogers. Levante David. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's on every play, and Rogers goes nowhere.
Kevin, we just talked baseball, the World Series. In baseball, there's a term, a 5-tool player. They do everything right. This guy does everything right. He plays the run. He plays in pass coverage. He plays downhill. And then when he gets there, he's a tremendous finisher. He does not miss tackles. Levante David, an outstanding football player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And that puts Atlanta in a 3rd and 11. All kinds of time. Ryan unloads for no one. Incomplete. Looking for Douglas. Darrelle Revis was all over him. And there was a flag back at the line of scrimmage. I wonder if Ryan got hit late here.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, high contact to the quarterback, number 71 defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It wasn't violent by Trevor Scott.
The end was.
But like Walt Anderson said, high contact to the quarterback. We can all sit up here and say, should he or shouldn't he have? Is that right or not right? That's what the NFL is emphasizing. They're going to protect the quarterback every time.
Look at that difference right there. 8 personal fouls on defense for Tampa nonetheless. That's the most in the league. Just look at the last series. You had a good run, false start on Penn, and then boom, you're going to get off the field and you get that. That's why the Bucs right now are searching for their first win. Draw to Snelly, and David again!
Guess who?
This guy's ridiculous. I mean, can someone tell him that there are other players on the field to make a tackle?
Well, here he comes, and watch this flash. It's like a cobra striking. Jason Snelling, meet Levante David. He arrives with bad
Number
intentions
61
as well.
is reporting as eligible. 61 is eligible.
There's the number. I mean, that is an impressive stat. Over 30 tackles. He had 37 coming in. He's got 5 tackles today, 4 sacks, and a pick. The guy's been everywhere. And if you think about the Week 1 press when he shoved Geno Smith out of bounds and cost Tampa a game, you don't realize he's putting himself in the conversation as maybe the best linebacker in the game. Second down, Ryan unloads. He's got Douglas for a first. Goldson came over to trip him up. But Harry Douglas with a big completion down to the 43, and it's a 27-yard gain.
Well, Revis marking Harry Douglas. But Harry Douglas does a great job of stemming him up top. Goldson makes a drive on it, but not in time. And Harry Douglas almost escapes. Remember, Harry Douglas, a punt returner, almost escapes out of that tackle by Goldson.
Matt Ryan now 7 of 9 for 69 yards in the early going. Maybe the final play of the first quarter. Ryan, he's got Tony Gonzalez. 201 straight games with a reception, and that should end this first quarter.
The trust he has in Tony Gonzalez, and Matt Ryan's fired up, is unbelievable. Tony Gonzalez has earned that trust.
Falcons offense getting going a little bit here. It's the defense that's put them up front. End of the first from Atlanta. Falcons up 7-zip. We start the second quarter. Matt Ryan has the offense going. 46 yards in the last 2 plays after having only 37 yards the rest of the first quarter. Here's Snelling. Good hole up the middle, and then he gets stood up inside the 20. John, the trust with Matt Ryan and his tight end, Tony Gonzalez, outstanding.
Well, you see this over and over. It looks like Tony Gonzalez is covered, not so fast. Matt Ryan's going to throw it. If you're a defender, you got to study the film and turn your head early. You could steal one. The Bucs talked about that, baiting Matt Ryan into one in that particular coverage, but easy to say, hard to do when it's Tony Gonzalez, the future Hall of Famer out there.
Snelling again, fighting hard and a good run. He's close to a first down. Mason Foster on the stop. You know, Jason Snelling is just one of those unheralded guys. You know, talking to Dirk Cutter about Snelling, and he said, you know, think about him, you could trust him. You always know what he's going to do.
And all I know is every time I turn on the tape, every time I study the Atlanta Falcons, good things happen when Jason Snelling's on the field, particularly with Steven Jackson out. I think his role has to increase. It looks like Dirk Cutter and Mike Smith feel the same way.
Bucs have been very good defensively in this red zone. Snelling again. First down, but hang on, there's a flag. Comes from the far side of the field. And I think this one's going to come back.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 83, offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
John, how can so many wide receivers have false starts today?
Well, you watch the ball. Sometimes what they do, it looked like Harry Douglas was coming in motion in his mind to try to block the safety who had entered the box. But Matt Ryan and Harry Douglas not on the same page. Remember, typically plays in the sub package. Now he's in there as the #1 receiver. Adjustment for the Atlanta Falcons.
Mike Smith just asked Roddy if he could throw the pads on. He said, maybe. 3rd and 6. Pressure. Ryan gets it off beautifully. It's Rodgers in for the touchdown. 19 yards to Jacquizz Rodgers. Greg Schiano finds his Tampa Bay Bucs in a big hole. What a nice touch pass by Matt Ryan. Hitting Rodgers in stride from 19 yards out. Matt Ryan the extra point, and it's 14-0.
Well, you're missing 2 Pro Bowl receivers. What do? Throw it to the running back. Jacquizz Rodgers to the house for Atlanta Falcons. You look at the touchdown to Jacquizz Rodgers. First of all, look at Tony Gonzalez. Safety's going to come down and double Gonzalez. So now you got a one-on-one right here, albeit against Tampa's best player, Levante David. Great route by Rodgers and on the money by Matt Ryan. You find the one-on-one and you make the defense pay. Credit Tony Gonzalez with drawing the double. Matt Ryan and Jacquizz Rodgers for executing on the one-on-one.
Rodgers is a terrific receiver. This is 20th catch of the year and his first touchdown as kickoff well out of the end zone by Bosher. And Tampa Bay in a big hole. Matt Ryan, with a lot of guys hurt, playing well today. 14-0 Atlanta.
This game on Fox is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. By Corona, who invites you to find your beach this football season. And by Papa John's, official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
State capital of Georgia. Beautiful shot with the clouds rolling so softly overhead. Falcons have been anything but rolling softly. They've been loud so far today, as is this crowd, with the team up 14 in the second. Doug Martin breaks one tackle and has to put up a whale of a fight to go out and get 5.5 yards on first down. Well, John, here are the Bucs. They have lost 10 of their last 11 regular season games. They're 0-5 this year, and there's obviously heat on the whole organization, specifically Greg Schiano, the head coach. And now you've got a rookie quarterback in his first road start, down 14-0 to the Falcons.
He's hedged his bet. Josh Freeman was never his guy. He made an attempt to try to make it work. He gushes about Mike Glennon. We'll see if Mike Glennon can help Greg Schiano and the Bucs go get a win.
Good block by Davin Joseph and a good run by Doug Martin as some positive action for the Bucs offense. 16-yard run. Deku made the tackle.
This is what I'm saying. You get a little space. An excellent block by Davin Joseph pulling. Vincent Jackson doing some work. You get this young man some space. He flashes. He bursts. He's a very good runner. They've got to do a better job of getting him looks like that.
7 carries, 35 yards for Martin, but now Mike James, excuse me, is in the game for the first time. Rookie out of Miami. James gets run over but picks up the blitz. Glennon going deep for Jackson. He's got it! A one-handed grab! And a touchdown, Tampa Bay! 59 yards! Wow!
You got to give big credit to this young man, Mike James, right here. The blitz pickup. Trufant's going to come on a corner blitz. Great instinct and skill by Mike James. He gets run over, but that gives Glennon enough time to throw it up. 50-50 balls they love with Vincent Jackson. He goes up with one hand. What tremendous concentration. Glennon did his job. Give him a chance to catch it. Tremendous execution by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
If that wasn't exactly what they needed, that was huge. And John, you gotta love, they're taking shots in this game. They're going down the field a lot. You gotta like that. They haven't done that yet with Glennon. Glennon going deep, finding the veteran Vincent Jackson. We've got ourselves a game in Atlanta. Look at this shot and this concentration. Samuel all over him, one-handed grab. And by the way, how about the shot by our camera guy, the best in the business, Michael Tadamir. I mean, that is just a look into the concentration. Beautifully done, Mike.
Yeah, people at home, I think they think sometimes these things are lucky. The one-hand catch, that's all skill right there. That's all concentration. Guys like Vincent Jackson, they practice those kind of things. Vincent Jackson dropping the ones with two hands today, but when his team needs him most, pulls in an incredible one-hander. Explosive player is Vincent Jackson.
And we've got a game in Tampa. Bucs needed that to stop the bleeding. Jacquizz Rodgers will take it out. And Rodgers met right across the 20. Third member of our broadcast team is Molly McGrath, and she's down on the field. Molly.
Thanks, Kevin. I saw Matt Ryan and Mike Glennon talking to each other before the game and spoke to Ryan after, and he said that he can see a lot of himself in the rookie. He said that they have similar mechanics, a similar high release, and he's most impressed with Glennon's inability to get rattled easily, which he showed in that last touchdown drive. Kevin?
Yeah, he sure did. I mean, that was impressive. I mean, considering the circumstance, the crowd getting into it, he really showed you something there. And you know, there have been a lot of comparisons, John, rightfully so, because Tom O'Brien and Dana Bible, the links there. O'Brien was the head coach at Boston College, and Matt Ryan was there, head coach at NC State when Glennon was there. We'll get into that more in a bit. Here's Rodgers. and a short gain on first. But because of that, there have been a lot of comparisons, and they do look similar if you break down the tape.
They really do. We talked to Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator. We asked him about Glennon. First thing he said, young Matt Ryan. Now, look, I'm not saying he's that kind of player yet, but they very much resemble each other, and I don't think that's just coincidence. Tom O'Brien recruited these guys. I think he looked for a similar type of player, but it's uncanny. Even the way they finish the ball with the release, their wrist, it looks very, very similar. Matt Ryan used to be a skinny, lanky kid as well. Now he's matured a little bit.
2nd and 7. Here's Rodgers. Good couple of blocks, first down. And we have a Buck injured. Trying to see the number from here. That's Akeem Spence, the nose tackle. He's been playing really well, the rookie.
See Spence come in. Here comes Mark Barron. The two run into each other. We'll see how Akeem Spence is as we come back from break.
14-7, Falcons in front.
Sponsored by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more.
Fans waving those flags at the Georgia Dome. Akeem Spence got off under his own power. Gary Gibson, 7th-year man from Rutgers, number 95, replaces him at the nose tackle. Rodgers again on the screen. Good blocks again, but David comes in to make the tackle.
Kevin, it's interesting. Last series, Deshaun Goldson went out, and he has not come back. And that affects the Buccaneers, not only in the fact that you lose Goldson. Mark Barron in their sub, their nickel package, he moves down to linebacker. They aren't doing that right now. We see Goldson on the sideline trying to run it off, but affects the Bucs a lot. They really like Barron down at that linebacker position and nickel, not able to with the injury to Goldson.
And the Bucs, when they've gotten pressure, have gotten pressure from their secondary and the linebackers, not from the D-line. Ryan Rubisky is in, just signed a wide receiver this week. Here's the blitz. Ryan under fire, incomplete. I think he was looking for Rubisky there, but it was well over his head.
Brian Robisky signed earlier during the bye week, and there's his father, Terry Robisky, longtime wide receiver coach. Brian's actually living at the house with mom and dad, playing for the Atlanta Falcons. A neat story. Earned his way onto this roster. Has been in the league, but you gotta love that, living with mom and dad playing in the NFL.
Gotta be honest, at 25, I don't know that living back with the parents is really a dream, John. Just lay it out there. 3rd and 6 for Ryan steps up nicely, fires deep for Douglas. What a catch! Harry Douglas. Flag comes in. Douglas on his feet. That's going to be on, I believe, on Tampa. Leonard Johnson kind of shoved him, but Douglas still made the terrific play and catch. And Atlanta's going to be in the red zone with a first down.
Walt Anderson and Billy Smith, the back judge, talking about the call.
Pass interference, number 29, defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is completed pass, first down.
You see Harry Douglas working against Leonard Johnson, and Matt Ryan just gives him a chance. They got the one-on-one situation, puts it up, and Harry Douglas. You talk about earning trust. That will earn you some trust from your quarterback. Harry Douglas with a big-time play.
Roddy White likes it, that's for sure. It must be weird for him being on the sideline for the first time in 133 games. That's Goldson we saw back in the game, I thought. And he is back after that knee injury. That's Snelling on the run. Atlanta's offense in the red zone this year, 48%, 23rd in the league. John, last year they were 58%. This has really been a bugaboo. They've moved the ball well up and down the field, but in the red zone, that's where they've had some issues.
Yeah, good news is they're down there all the time. Big focus of the bye week was getting in the end zone. Talking about precision in the red zone. That's been the message from Mike Smith and Dirk Cutter, the offensive coordinator.
Now, of course, they converted the one time with the 19-yard catch to Rodgers earlier. Let's see what this flag is.
Neutral zone infraction, number 93, defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Little things. Matt Ryan with the hard count. Gerald McCoy jumps the gun. He's a penetrating, explosive player, but Matt Ryan gets Gerald McCoy right there. That makes it a little easier in the red zone.
Yeah. Now it's a 1st and goal on the 3 with Snelling the back.
Express. Let him go.
Snelling on the draw, and he gets stymied. Nowhere to go. Bucs played it well.
Guess who? This goes into the category of redundancy. Levante David all over the field. And you think you have something, but nah, here comes Levante David. Making plays all over the field.
Talk about the Falcons team, John, moving the ball well between the 20s. This is the 25th time they've been in the red zone, 2nd most in the league. So they're getting there, not scoring. But again, they scored their first trip there today. Fake Ryan tipped away. He was looking for Robisky. But it was Goldson who came over back in the game, got a hand on it, 3rd down.
Deshaun Goldson making his presence known back in the lineup. It's a really good play because a hard play action. Watch Goldson right here. The offside, just reading the eyes of Matt Ryan, and just enough. Game of inches. Otherwise, that may be a touchdown. Brian Robisky would take the ball back to mom and dad.
25. Ready, ready.
3rd and goal. Ryan looking for Rodgers, tips, incomplete. Again, Levante David on the play. Guy's been amazing. And again, the Falcons fail to convert in the red zone.
Again, you see David right there, just zone defense, playing a little combo coverage. Comes off Gonzalez, drives the route. Great in coverage, great in the run game, fantastic football player.
Arthur Blank, Falcons owner on the right, Thomas Dimitroff, general manager in the middle there, not happy as Matt Ryan will come on and attempt a 23-yard field goal. And he gets it up and good. Falcons up their lead to 10.
The Buccaneer defense coming up big. Game of inches going the Buccaneers' way on that series.
Greg Schiano fired up as his team makes a stand inside the 5-yard line, holds Atlanta to a field goal. It's still the Falcons up by 10, and big reason they're even within 10 is because of that man, Levante David, who's played an outstanding first half. Eric Page back to receive for the Bucs. Matt Bosher will kick it away. Page gets a little momentum, going to take it on out. And he's going to be stopped shy of the 20-yard line. And Mike Glennon will come on the field. So the Falcons up 10 here in the 2nd quarter. And John, you look at this game, and Tampa, this game could have really gotten out of hand, but Mike Glennon throws the bomb to Vincent Jackson, then a humongous defensive stand down inside the 5.
Yeah, and the bottom line, Mike Glennon said it to us. They're going to have to score points.
Yeah.
I don't care who Matt Ryan has playing wide receiver. It's like Tom Brady. They're going to find a way to move the football. So Mike Glennon in this Tampa Bay offense, they're going to have to match him, and we'll see if they can do it.
Ryan's done a nice job spreading the ball around, too, with all these injuries, without Roddy White, without Julio Jones, without Steven Jackson. But now it's Mike Glennon's turn. And Glennon has a completion to Mike Williams, his first catch. Williams was inactive last week with a hamstring injury, and it's something that's really bothered him since the 3rd game of the year.
You know, it's really interesting. Sometimes you see a quarterback change and you don't really think all that goes into it. Mike Glennon said when he was named the starter Wednesday before the Arizona game, he really hadn't thrown to Mike Williams, to Vincent Jackson, because he had been working with the backups all through camp. And so he just now is really getting accustomed to throwing to those guys.
That's Crabtree, the tight end, in motion. And here's Doug Martin. Martin's going to pick up a couple. And we get a flag on the play. Hakeem Dent there to make the hit.
At the end of this play, Ted Larson, and they're going to get him again. The penalty is going to be 15 yards. The penalties continue to ail the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 62, offense. We'll go half the distance to the goal. It'll be 3rd down.
That's the 5th penalty. 5th already for these Bucs.
Greg Schiano steaming, and rightly so. At some point, the players got to take accountability. You can't do stupid things on the field. It's selfish when you do. Effort's one thing, stupidity's another.
Just look at the last Falcons touchdown. It was a 3rd and 11. Tampa Bay about to get off the field. They rough Matt Ryan. Bucs need to get to the 28. On a 3rd down, Glennon hits Jackson, and he is going to be stopped. Well shot, he fumbled the ball, and I think Tampa got it back. I believe it was Larson who made up for that penalty by saving Vincent Jackson's bacon there, and he does get it back. So Buccaneers retain possession, but we'll have to punt it away.
Again, prior to that penalty, you're in a 3rd and 8 situation. Now you're in a 3rd and 20. Trufant with a great job getting after the ball. And nice job by Ted Larson being aware and getting after that ball. But you love aggressive play. You can't cross that line.
Michael Cannon to punt it away. And this one is not good. See the refs mark it, but it's for sure going to be in Bucs territory. Hold on.
Keeps going.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Wow.
Stopping it at the 37. It's a 20-yard punt by Michael Cain, and Atlanta is set up. Well, the Bucs not happy right now, down by 10. One guy who is Matt Ryan. 17-7 Atlanta. This November, some cops are born, others are made. Get ready for the next evolution of cop drama. Don't miss the show critics are calling obsession-worthy, and one of the best new series this fall, Almost Human, premieres Monday, November 4th on Fox. Looks like fun. Have to check that out. Atlanta feels like this could be a fun drive, considering they're starting it on the Bucs 37 after the 20-yard punt by Michael Cain. Ryan loads of time, going deep, has a man, it's caught, touchdown, Harry Douglas. Didn't we say that Julio Jones and Roddy White were out today? Well, someone forgot to tell Matt Ryan he's got 211 yards in the first half.
That's what great players do. They adjust. They don't use excuses. Don't have Julio Jones. You don't have Roddy White. Throw to Harry Douglas. Matt Ryan's getting it done.
Point after by Bryant is good. Hang on. We get a flag, I think. We have the whistle. Nope, we're good. How about Harry Douglas? A career high 140 yards. This a touchdown from 37 out.
See Harry Douglas with a double move. Everyone's looking at Jonathan Banks, but Deshaun Goldson, the safety, just hung his corner out to dry. He takes the bait on the pump. Matt Ryan throws it up top. Harry Douglas brings it in.
Harry Douglas came into the game with 219 yards. He's got 140 in the first half. Matt Ryan is special. I mean, there's no other way to put it, John. I mean, some of these plays he's making today and getting these young receivers involved.
See Roddy White happy for his young man, but Roddy, you're hurt. Keep that hamstring healthy. They need you.
Harry Douglas having himself a day. 5th-year man from Louisville. You know, and this is a guy that's been a big part of the Falcons offense as the slot guy. I mean, he had 38 catches last year, but this is the #1 guy. Usually, maybe you'll go to a #2 if there's a guy that's hurt. You usually don't go from the slot guy to the #1 guy. He's playing like it today.
He's playing like a #1 guy. That's for sure.
Meanwhile, Falcons have really taken control of this game. 24-7, they lead it. And the kick will go out of bounds. We've got a game break and check in with Joel Klatt.
All right, thank you, Kevin. And we go to Washington. Cutler back to pass. Looking for Alshon Jeffrey right in his hands, right? No. Brian Arakpo, the interception, and 29 yards later, he's in the end zone. Cutler would later leave the game with a left hip injury, has not returned. Josh McCown in for Chicago, Kevin.
Wow, that's big news, Joel. Thanks. Yeah, the Redskins looked asleep at the beginning of that game, and all of a sudden they're coming back and winning. And the way the NFC East is right now, that Dallas-Philly tilt is still scoreless in Philadelphia. It's anybody's game. Doug Martin, we get a flag. Martin gets a yard, but flag behind the line of scrimmage here.
Holding number 75, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on Davin Joseph, and that is the 6th penalty of the first half.
It just seems like the Buccaneers, you see Davin Joseph get a handful of jersey, and Walt Anderson has nothing to do but call the penalty. But it seems like the Buccaneers all season, they're just swimming upstream. They make something good happen, they go backwards. It's just hard to play football when you continue to hurt yourself with penalties. Buccaneers are at it again today.
Factor in their last 5 drives that started at the 20, the 14, the 20, the 18, and the 20. Lennon's got time and a lot of it, and he finds a man over the middle. It's Owusu. He's going to work his way back to the original line of scrimmage. Jablo Bartu came in to make the stop. You know, it's amazing. This Falcons team, we talk about all the injuries on offense, but we have neglected to say how banged up they are on defense. They've got 2 undrafted rookie linebackers starting today.
And there's one of them, Paul Warlow from the University of Delaware, and Jablo Bartu from Texas State. Those guys are manning the linebacker positions, and they're making do. Mike Nolan talked about Sean Weatherspoon being an excellent football player. These guys are battling, though.
Nice to Owusu, who's got a first down for the Bucs, on point from Glennon. For William Moore, made the hit. 11 yards on the pickup, John.
Chris Owusu is a guy that I think has a very bright future in this league. He played at Stanford. I've watched him play a lot. He's explosive. You see him work in the slot against Trufant. Good hands. Tough guy. Takes hits like that and keeps on getting up.
They loved him in the spring, but a high ankle sprain. And he's still kind of working back from that. Mike James, the rookie in at tailback, giving Doug Martin a spell. It's James. James tries to get to the edge. He's going to work his way for a 4-yard gain. It was Bartu out there on the tackle. You know, you stay with these young linebackers. We talked to the defensive coordinator, Mike Nolan. He said, I met with all the defensive players. And here's Bartu on this play. Look at the eyes. So, you know, the one thing is, met with all these guys in the spring one-on-one. And I told both those guys they had a chance to make the club. To make the club, they're starting today, John.
Sean Weatherspoon out, Croy Bierman out. And Croy Bierman, there were so many plans for him. People say, oh, he's a decent player. But Mike Nolan had him in such a versatile role. They really miss those guys, but they're finding a way to make do today.
2nd and 6. And Lennon has Tim Wright, his first catch this week after Wright had a career best 7 for 91 against Philly last week.
A couple things on that play. Tim Wright really emerged last week, 4 third-down conversions, but Akeem Dent, who's been hurt, was covering Tim Wright, and he runs off limping as well. So the Falcons were just talking about injuries at linebacker, possibly another one for him.
Yeah, Dent's had an ankle issue, and kind of have the idea he might be limited today anyway. 2:34 to go, first half. On a first down, Glennon going deep again for Jackson, leaping ground, and the flag. Robert Alford on the coverage, but Vincent Jackson has made some athletic plays today.
And this is really what needs to happen. You got to give Vincent Jackson, I talked about throwing them out of a 8-man box. in an effort to stop Doug Martin. That's what you got to do. You
The
got to
ruling
make
on
him
the
pay.
field was an incomplete pass. Pass interference, number 23, defense. First down, spot of the foul.
You take a look. This is what they're seeing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I promise you there's an 8th guy there. But that's what you got to do. If they're going to load it, you got to make them pay with guys like Vincent Jackson.
I've taken plenty of shots today. Lennon not afraid to throw it up. Jackson, even though he was out of bounds, just what a beautiful catch. Tampa goes on the ground. That'll take us, I believe, to the 2-minute warning. It was James getting his second carry. It's a big drive. I mean, it's 24-7 right now, and if you go on the break, get some points, it would certainly change the feel of this for Tampa. They've got a nice little drive going right now. Atlanta is in front. They're playing well. 24-7. They've got the lead here at the Georgia Dome. Bucs and Greg Schiano looking for their first win. They've got a big mountain to climb. 2-minute warning. First half. Mike Nolan still respected in this league. Down on the field for the first time this year. So he was in the box, now watching from the field. Second down for the Bucs. Lennon has a lot of time. He's going to find James. A little shimmy shake to get into field goal range, and he's close to a first down.
Well, there's a lot of things to like about Mike Glennon. We've seen the arm, throwing it downfield. He makes good decisions, though. Right there, a check down. They're in coverage downfield. Be patient, go through your reads, check it down, you get positive yardage. Lot to like about the young kid from North Carolina State.
And Glennon, you saw the numbers. He's had a good first half, and consider 5 incompletions, but he's taken shot after shot down the field.
A lot of drops, too, Kevin.
Yeah, he's had at least 3 drops. 7 of his last 7, but now a big 3rd and 1. Gonna throw it, gonna have a first down at Jackson. How about the confidence of Greg Schiano letting it throw with the young quarterback on a 3rd and 1?
Absolutely. He's playing that chess game, knowing that Atlanta's going to be all trying to stop the run. Everybody up. What do you do? A little play action. Mike Glennon again reads it out, finds the open receiver, and delivers a strike to Vincent Jackson.
And off the jumbo package, they had Karimi in there. Now 43 seconds to go in the half, but plenty of time. Tampa's got all 3 timeouts here, so we'll see how the rookie navigates this. Glennon is going to have a receiver. It's Owusu, but he's tackled inbounds. I would think they've got to call a timeout here. And they do. 28 seconds to go. It'll be a second down. 6-yard gain. As we approach halftime, let's check in with Kurt Menefee to give us a little preview on the Visa halftime report.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, we'll see if Tom Brady can keep Boston in a celebratory mood as the Patriots take on the Jets. It's a battle of first-place teams as the Bengals visit the Lions, and the Jaguars will try to get that first win of the season. Plus, I'll go out and join those guys because I don't think I'm really supposed to be in here. It's all on the Visa halftime.
Kurt, that's a fine pocket square, too. I mean, that's just props out. I don't know if he took the headset off, but that's a nice job by Kurt on the looks today. So here is Tampa Bay. 24-7 they trail. 28 seconds left, but these next couple plays could make an enormous difference in how the second half of this game feels. Ryan Leonard in the backfield with Mike Glennon on a second down. Time, and he has a completion of Mike Williams inside the 10. And the time will stop as the Bucs call their second timeout. 1st and goal, 22 seconds to go in the half.
I think you got to give some credit to the Tampa Bay offensive line. We talked earlier, they've been inconsistent throughout the season. Doing a nice job giving Glennon time with the 4-man rush of the Atlanta Falcons.
That is not good.
That's offensive. That's what it is. That's not defense. And Mike Nolan, you talked about it, Kev. Outstanding, respected coordinator. He knows what he's doing. They've been short on manpower.
22 seconds left. Glennon end zone incomplete. Jackson was there, but well covered. 18 seconds left, 1 timeout for Tampa Bay.
Another smart decision right there. Sometimes it's not going to be there. The guys on the defense get paid as well. You don't like it, Throw it up high. Maybe Vincent Jackson goes and gets it. If not, you live to see another down.
Glennon had 10 straight completions, and this is a nice drive. It started on Tampa's 20. This is the 11th play of the drive.
This is where the emergence of Tim Wright at the tight end position in the last couple weeks is absolutely huge. Wright's down there. It opens up guys like Jackson and Williams.
Glennon hit as he throws, incomplete. Doug Martin, the intended receiver. Parade Jerry got a little pressure to push the pocket.
See Tim Wright. They're aware of him. They're doubling him. Despite the double, he was actually open. But Parade Jerry with the pressure on Glennon.
Third and goal. Glennon, pressure coming, and he's buried. He had nowhere to go. Tampa's going to have to call their final timeout. It was Jerry again, so 2 straight plays. And Parade Jerry, the 4th-year man out of Mississippi, with a big impact.
Watch the coverage downfield. Tim Wright with the double move. They're doubling Vincent Jackson. No one for Glennon to go to. Babineau with heat up front, and then here comes Jerry to finish him off.
That's the 2nd sack of the day for Atlanta. That was a nice drive by Mike Glennon. It really was. He's got a good first half. I mean, 163 yards, but give credit to Atlanta's defense stepping up. Be a 36-yard field goal attempt by Ryan Lindell. He has missed one in this range this year. This one, though, is true. So a 36-yard field goal for the Buccaneers ends the half. Falcons, though, in front by 2 touchdowns. Visa halftime show with Kurt Menefee and the boys from L.A. starts right now. A reminder, you can follow your favorite team all year long through the NFL on iTunes. Full games, highlights, and more at itunes.com/NFL. Exciting first half from Atlanta, 24-10. Falcons in front of the Bucs. This was a game build. You look at the quarterbacks for a couple of reasons. The rookie Mike Glennon making his 3rd NFL start, and then Matt Ryan. We know what he can do, John, but with the entire Atlanta offense basically injured, Ryan has been off the hook good.
I told you it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm a defensive guy, never been able to figure out quarterback rating, but I do know that 148, that's really good, and that's what Matt Ryan's at right now. A couple of touchdowns. Harry Douglas has come up big for Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Mike Glennon hasn't played bad for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the rookie making his 3rd start, but the penalties continue to kill the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They have gotten some huge penalties. One led to a Falcon touchdown, and that has been a problem for them all year long. The stats, while the numbers are pretty similar here, obviously the Falcons have passed yards, 211 in the first half. That's a big number. 6 penalties. That's been a big story in this one. But I think when you look at the overall big picture, coming into this game, combined 1 win for each team. The reality is this is a savior season game, John, for these 2 teams, and especially Atlanta.
Yeah, for the Atlanta Falcons, they stand 1-4, but remember the NFC's not lighting it up. That wild card's attainable. They had to get 1 win first. They're well on their way.
Bucs will start off their second half possession on the 20-yard line. Let's go down to the field and say hi to Molly.
Thanks, Kevin. You mentioned it. Matt Ryan's doing a great job of adjusting their offense because of injuries. But I talked to Mike Smith at halftime, and he said that he's most impressed with Harry Douglas. He said that his role has changed immensely in the past week because of injuries. They're putting a lot on his plate, and the key in the second half will be keeping that momentum. Kevin.
They have put a lot on his shoulders, and he has carried the load. I mean, you can't play better with your top 2 wide receivers out, and they're stretching out Harry Douglas after a career-high 140 yards in the first half. Last 6 drives for Tampa Bay. They haven't started past their own 20-yard line. That's tough sledding. Here's Martin, and Martin gets decked. As soon as he gets the ball, Jonathan Babineau with the tackle. Here's the other thing. Not only are the Buccaneers down 14, their offense has been invisible in the second half this year.
Absolutely. For whatever reason, the second half has not been their friend. 13 second half points. You see Denver with 151. You have to play your best football when it matters most. Second half is that time. They have not done it this year.
Bucs put their jumbo package in. Gabe Karimi, number 72, as an extra offensive lineman. Here's Martin. He's going to slide his way out to the 24-yard line. Gain of 6. Joplo Bartu in on the stop.
Talked about Mike Glennon. I'll tell you, Greg Schiano has talked in the last couple of weeks about how fun it's been to coach the guy because he's a grinder. He's the first one in, the last guy out. And Greg Schiano couldn't have been happier about the young man's progression. Is he going to have some tough times? Yeah. Greg Schiano understands that. I think he handled himself well in that first half.
Buccaneers 3 of 8 on third down so far today. Lennon on the run, nearly intercepted, and that would have been taken all the way to the house by Asante Samuel. You know, I chuckle because Mike Sullivan, the offensive coordinator, told us we have the Asante rules for plays like that.
And this would fit in the Asante rules. He talked about no short to intermediate passes his way. Asante Samuel, who has 50 NFL interceptions to his credit, darn near takes that one the other way for a pick 6.
And he's got 10 NFL interception return touchdowns. You see why on a play like that. But Bucs escape. They'll punt it away. Alford will have a chance to return this one from the 23. Flag comes in, and he doesn't go anywhere. Well covered by the Bucs. Ball comes loose. Dakota Watson, I think, has it. He does. And the Buccaneers get a break. The rookie fumbles. Watson picks it up. We have to sort through the flag, but I believe it's on Atlanta. Let's see. They continue to sort it out, but the indication is Buccaneers football. A little scrum going on.
See Dakota Watson come in, and Brian Leonard is going to get that football out. Remember the trickle-down effect. Harry Douglas, the normal punt returner, he's now the #1 receiver. They want to take some load off Harry Douglas. They put the rookie Robert Alford back there, and he fumbles it away.
Walt Anderson is our referee today.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the kicking team. During the return, holding number 24 of the receiving team. A penalty is declined. Be Tampa Bay's ball. First down.
And so here is the break that Tampa Bay needs if they want to get back in this game. Down 2 touchdowns against an Atlanta offense that's been on fire in the second quarter. But after the turnover, they have got it on the 23-yard line. This has been a big difference for the Falcons this year, John. Last year, when they got off to the 8-0 start, they were a turnover machine. Now it's the other way around.
And
Excuse me, a turnover-getting machine, I should say.
Absolutely. No greater correlation between winning and losing than that number. And the Atlanta Falcons have always excelled at it. This year, they haven't been taking it away. They've been protecting it fairly well. Last year, they took it away often. They did early today, but now they give it back.
Doug Martin is single back. And it's Martin hustling up the middle and working his way down to about the 18-yard line. Martin will get 5 on first down. Well, in the red zone, this is a place the Buccaneers have simply not been this year. I mean, when you look at it, this is only the 10th trip in the red zone this year. By far the fewest in the NFL. Atlanta's defense in the red zone has allowed 67% of the time a touchdown. That's at the bottom of the barrel. Lennon going for the end zone. It's Martin! And it's knocked away, and Martin may be hurt. And there's a flag. They're going to get the penalty on William Moore, and Martin is laying on the ground in pain.
It's a well-thrown football by Mike Glennon to Doug Martin. William Moore covers a ton of ground to come make the hit. But we all know the way the NFL's cracking down on these hits. It's not helmet to helmet. Did any other part of his body go to Doug Martin's head? I don't know. That looks like a clean hit to me.
John, it's a terrible call. That's what it is.
There is no foul for a personal foul. It's an incomplete pass. It's third down.
That's a great job by Walt Anderson, his 18th year in the league, because that wasn't a penalty. But here's the issue. Cannot afford to lose Doug Martin, and there's some concern. Looked like he was grabbing his arm. They'll tend to Doug Martin, who's now up on his feet. We'll come back after this.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Chevrolet, find new roads. And by Pizza Hut, prep for game day by ordering online from Pizza Hut. Make it great.
Concern for Doug Martin. They were working on that shoulder area up under the pads, and he's out after taking the hit from Moore. And now it's a 3rd down and 5 for Tampa Bay. And just give credit to Walt Anderson and his crew for taking back that call, because I don't think many crews would do that nowadays. It's such an emphasis by the NFL, and I think they got it right. So kudos on a job well done. Big 3rd down for the Bucs, trying to get back in this game. Blitz again. Glennon finds the open man. It's Jackson, and it's good for a 1st down.
We talked about this very matchup earlier. That's a favorable one for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You have Vincent Jackson, Pro Bowl type player, working against Desmond Trufant in the slot, and Mike Glennon smart to locate it and go after it. Trufant's got to have his eye discipline. Don't watch the quarterback, watch your receiver.
1st and goal. Mike James is the tailback for Doug Martin, who's on the bench injured right now. Blitz again. Glenn finding Jackson. No, incomplete. That time Trufant got a hand on it. Well, it's pretty clear. They're blitzing all the time, and Glennon's first look is to Vincent Jackson.
Well, he likes that matchup, but Trufant does a really good job. Got to have amnesia as a corner. After something bad, forget about it, come back and play the next play, and he does it well, getting the ball out for the Atlanta Falcons.
Second and 10. James. Mike James finding a hole. He's close to a 1st down. William Moore in on the stop, but the rookie from Miami subbing in with a big run.
Talked about this offensive line being inconsistent, but you got to give him some kudos right there. Creating some space for Mike James, and he does some nice downhill running, falling forward for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Keep in mind, before the half, on a 3rd and 1, they had confidence that Mike Glennon throw the ball. This time it's James on the handoff, diving forward. I don't know. I don't think he got anything there. And if he didn't, do you take the points?
You know, we talk about 8-man box. That's a 9-man box. Right there, Kevin, you talk about the confidence to throw the football. That's a situation where you got to throw the football. Understand it's 1 yard, but certain times you can't bang your head against a wall. They got 9 guys in there, not enough to block them all.
Buccaneers are 2 of 7 on 4th down, and they're going to go on this 4th and 1. The play clock's winding down. They're not going to get this off. Going to have to call a timeout here. And so they burn a timeout. Now, if you burn this timeout, in my book, John, you've got to go here. You can't burn a timeout and then kick a field goal here.
They're going. They're keeping them out there. But, again, 3rd down is the place where you have the defense thinking, all right, is it run, is it pass? 4th down, it's likely you're going to throw the football. The defense knows that. You got to always be thinking ahead, and you got to play the percentages. When there's too many men in there, rookie quarterback or not, throw the football.
Right. Well, there's been no doubt about Atlanta's defense. They've loaded up the box. They've blitzed a ton today. This may be early in the third quarter, but down 2 touchdowns, 4th and 1. Can't state how big this play is.
And the Atlanta crowd knows it. They're broken up.
It's James, barrels forward. What a power run by Mike James. 1st and goal, Tampa Bay.
And that's really just a great singular effort by Mike James. Get a little bit of push. Davin Joseph and DeMar Dotson, and then just good running. As I said, carrying and falling forward. Mike James doing a tremendous job carrying Omar Gaither for a couple of yards.
That was impressive. 1st and goal. James again gets a block. Fumble the ball. It's loose. I thought he's shy, and I guess he is. I thought he lost that ball. But he's shy of the goal line. It'll be a 2nd and goal.
See Corey Peters. He tries to reach, but at that point he's down.
He's down.
Nice block by Lorig. But a really good hustle play by Corey Peters coming from the interior to make the tackle on the outside.
Look at that. No yards gained in the red zone coming into today. They're going to throw it for Jackson. He's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Again, this league is about matchups. Right there you have Vincent Jackson against Thomas Deku, a really good safety, but he shouldn't be covering Vincent Jackson. Mike Glennon recognizes that, gives his big guy a chance to get it. That's easy money for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Take it back to the Dakota Watson fumble recovery on the fumble on that punt by Alford. And the Bucs converts. And it's a 1-score game. What a momentum swing. Mike Glennon, the rookie, showing some poise here today, hitting Vincent Jackson with his 2nd score. Atlanta's lead trimmed to 7. Bucs fired up. Say this about the rookie Mike Glennon in his 3rd NFL start. He's smart. Why? He targets Vincent Jackson every time. He's got 2 touchdowns today, John.
Look, you got to earn nicknames in this league, but after watching that drive, we got Matty Ice. We might have Mikey Ice. This guy's cool. I mean, he really is. He doesn't get flustered, and that's a quality that the Buccaneers really like about him.
Greg Schiano, we met with him yesterday, said on Glennon, I like his demeanor, his decision-making, even in high school, and Schiano recruited him in high school when he was at Rutgers, said he was a good decision-maker then. He's a grinder, and it's fun to have a quarterback who's that way. And I'll tell you what, this game, you know, the fuel of this game in the 2nd quarter, at a point, felt like it was 73-0 Atlanta, so give him a lot of credit. Bucs in it, but it also was the turnover on the punt. Brian Leonard with the forced fumble recovered by Watson. Here it is. That's the big play, John.
Well, there's the turnover. Dakota Watson gets the ball, and that translates into the touchdown for Vincent Jackson and the Buccaneers.
Matt Ryan and the Falcons, Mike Glennon and the Bucs, each team trying to reinvigorate their season, and almost a must-win today. Greg Schiano's group has shown some resiliency today. They are now within a touchdown, and Mike Glennon has played well, but so has Matt Ryan in a game where he doesn't have his 2 starting receivers and his starting running back. Matt Ryan had a first half with 211 yards and 2 scores. Here is Jarquiz Rogers, first offensive possession of the first half. Make that the second half for Atlanta. Let's go down the field with Molly.
Thanks, Kevin. Doug Martin looked like he was in serious pain when he was hurt on that last Bucs drive. You saw trainers working on his shoulder. He went back into the locker room for further evaluation, and Tampa's staff just told me that he's questionable to return with a shoulder injury. Kevin?
Molly, thanks. That's obviously big news. I mean, he is hard to replace. Mike James had a big play in that touchdown. Second down for Atlanta. And Ryan was in trouble, had to throw it away. We've got ourselves a game break. Take it away, Joel Klatt.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Let's go to Philadelphia, where no DeMarco Murray for Dallas. Don't worry about it. Philip Tanner's got you covered. First TV of the season. 10-0 Dallas in the city of brotherly love. Kevin.
To the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of down.
All right, so we saw the update from Joel with the Cowboys up on Philadelphia, and in the right corner of your screen, you saw Walt Anderson threw a flag as we sent it to the game break that it was intentional grounding. John, tell us why.
Well, watch Jacquizz Rodgers. He's going to get held up by Akeem Spence. Nobody on the screen, and doesn't get to the line of scrimmage. Maybe out of the tackle box, but does not get back to the line of scrimmage. Walt Anderson all over it.
3rd and 15. Pressure coming from Claiborne. They get it to Rodgers in space. Nice move on Banks, but he can't get by the other 12 Bucs. And the Falcons will have to punt it away. Claiborne really did a job creating pressure there.
You know what it takes to play great defense is hustle. Watch Gerald McCoy right here, having an outstanding year. All right, they're going to throw the football. 3rd and 15. Now you got to rally. You got to redirect and go chase the ball. That's a big man getting downfield, getting in on the tackle. Gerald McCoy, an excellent football player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Reminds me at times of my old teammate Warren Sapp, the Hall of Famer.
That's high praise, John. He has had the year like that, though, as a punt by Bosher. Page, fair catch to his knees at the 35. Vincent Jackson having himself a day. 7 catches, 93 yards, 2 touches. Back end work next from Atlanta. Dakota Watson has played himself a nice game on special teams. He's got the fumble recovery from earlier. And wait till we show you what happens after this play with Tampa. He's playing some big-time ball on special teams today. Get to that after this first down for the Bucs. Roll the pocket. Glennon, now he's in trouble, and down he goes. Mike Glennon didn't see that one coming. 3rd sack of the day. It was Massaquoi who was there, along with a couple of others. I believe Bartu as well. Here's the special teams play on the punt.
You think special teams is for the faint of heart. Watch Dakota Watson pick up Kevin Cohen, the wide receiver, and take him back to the punter. Freakish athlete is Dakota Watson. If you don't believe me, just watch.
John, I saw you doing that for the broadcast as well. I mean,
that's how I like to get loose up here.
You know, you did it well. 2nd and 15. Running with a lot of time, going to air it out again. This time he's going for Owusu, and that's nowhere near him. Incomplete. Owusu was covered by Alford. There's a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Roughing the passer, late hit, number 93, defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Malachi Goodman going to come in late. It's actually Jonathan Massaquoi, 96. Walt Anderson deems that a late hit, and the Buccaneers move the chains. Kevin, we got a ball game here. 1-score game, and a rookie quarterback who's gaining confidence by the snap.
I just think Mike Sullivan has really done a job of opening up this game plan today. I mean, he's going deep quite a bit, and they hit on a couple of those shots. With the penalty, they're up to the 45 on a 1st and 10.
With all these guys up, I'd go up top again.
It's James, and not much there. O.C. Umenyiora came in to make the tackle, the former Giant. I'll never be without football. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL to download it right now. Download this one. We were setting ourselves up for a very good finish with 6:36 to go in this 3rd quarter.
It's a great assist by Vincent Jackson, helping his man Davin Joseph with the shoe.
He's got 2 touchdowns and an assist on a shoe. James. And Mike James scurries forward for a couple short gains. Going to bring up a 3rd and long.
There's 59. Bartu, a rookie, a line in Goodman, and then goes ahead and makes the play. That's why they like these rookies, undrafted free agents. But when you know football, you play smart and you can make plays. Guys like Mike Nolan, they don't care if you were drafted, where you were drafted, where you went to school. Can you play?
Flag comes in, and this play's not going to get off. We have some movement, I believe, on the Bucs.
False start, number 83, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
The 3rd full start by a wide receiver today.
Well, we keep talking about it. Every time they get a little momentum going, they shoot themselves in the foot. Right there, Mike Nolan rolling the dice. Everybody up blitzing, one-on-ones at 3 different spots, and Vincent Jackson gets a little anxious and moves.
Third and 12. Blitz coming from the corner. Glennon avoids it. He's going to take off. Glennon has the 1st down. He had a big 16-yard run last week against Philadelphia, and he's not a sprinter, but he made it work.
He's not ready for the snap, and Ted Larson snaps it. He does a great job just getting the snap, and then this is something he has. It's a mobility. He said, people see me as a tall, lanky white guy. They don't think I can run. He said, I can run a little bit. I always have been able to, and he showed us that in the last couple weeks.
That was the words of Mike Glennon yesterday, making us laugh. He said, I don't look fast, but I've got big strides. And Mike James with a short carry. Game break. Joe Klatt, fill us in.
All right, thank you, Kevin. And we go to a guy who knows he's fast. He doesn't just have to tell people he's fast, because he proves it on the field. Geno Smith, the rook, takes it in, and the Jets up 3 points in the 3rd.
Oh, wow, Joel. I know Geno had a good first half. He had like 150 yards in the first half. Hey, these Jets were here 2 weeks ago and beat Atlanta when Geno Smith put together a brilliant last-second drive. It's a game over MetLife Stadium. Got a game here, too. 2nd and 10 for Tampa Bay, down by 7 in the 3rd. And it's James. James firing through the hole, gets to the 39-yard line. 5-yard gain by Mike James, who's filling in for the injured Doug Martin. Went out with a shoulder injury, but this is a guy that had 22 total touchdowns in Miami. He can run it a little bit. He's getting an opportunity now.
Kevin, we see it every week. There's opportunities. There's injuries. It's a fact of life. We've seen Harry Douglas step up and make the most of his opportunity. Mike James out of the University of Miami doing a wonderful job of picking up the slack for Doug Martin, a fantastic player being out.
Big storyline today, Atlanta's inability to get off the field. Pressure again, and Glennon looking for Jackson, incomplete. Jackson wanted a hold on Trufant. He's not going to get it. It's been a battle today. Jackson's won more than he's lost.
And does he get away with one? Yes, he does.
100%.
Come on, man.
He said, hey. Nobody was listening. Michael Caine in a punt. And Tampa Bay could not keep it in. Michael Adams, just off the inactive list, had a golden opportunity to put it at the 2. So close, but yet so far. Falcons football up by 7. Well, there's a couple reasons for this. The turnover is one of them. Tampa Bay's controlled the ball a lot, but this Falcons offense, John, went into the break on fire, but Matt Ryan just hasn't gotten an opportunity really in this half.
And give the Buccaneers defense some credit as well. This is a good defense. That's gone unnoticed in the 0-5 season. It's a defense that can play some football. They got some impact players. They're starting to do it in the second half here today.
Jason Snelling in the backfield gets the ball on a 1st and 10, and Gerald McCoy swallows him up.
Gerald McCoy talked about this offseason. He talked to Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp said, get some power in your game. How about that for power? You split the double team, then you go make the tackle with the help of Levante David. That's big-time football by Gerald McCoy.
Tell you what, maybe even 2 Pro Bowl players for the Bucs. What did Dirk Cutter tell us yesterday? If the Bucs weren't 0-5, everyone would be talking about Gerald McCoy. Here's Ryan, and Ryan hits the man that just came off the practice squad 10 minutes ago. Darius Johnson, the rookie from SMU, with his first NFL reception.
Matt Ryan said about Darius Johnson, he's quick, he's got good hands. You see him at the point man on the bunch. Good route, and then nice catch. Matt Ryan likes his hands, and you see the life of an NFL quarterback. Big men breathing down your neck. You got to be able to stand in the fire and deliver, and Matt Ryan does it as good as anyone.
Blitz coming. Ryan's going to let it fly for Davis. What a catch! Another one-handed catch. They're contagious in Atlanta.
Drew Davis, last week covering kickoffs. A couple guys get hurt. One-handed catch, both feet clearly in. It's about making plays in this league, and the Atlanta Falcons backup wide receivers are getting it done here today.
It's amazing. We talked about without Julio Jones, without Roddy White, and these guys are playing terrific football today.
Go Rangers! Go Rangers! 59! Ready to go!
Ryan steps up, hits Douglas on the in-cut, and Harry Douglas has himself a 9-yard gain. You got to look at this catch one more time.
Look at that concentration again. I mean, that's not luck, that's skill. He looked it all the way in, and again, credit Matt Ryan. There's someone throwing it to these guys. He's showing faith in the young guys, and they're earning trust by the snap from Matt Ryan. 2nd and 1, it's Snelling who has the first down.
Ian Snelling has the first down. That's Claiborne on the ground. He'll get up, and the Falcons will move the chains. A little momentum for this offense, and they do not have to run another play in the 3rd quarter if they don't want. And it looks like they're content just to walk this out. I'll tell you, these young players for the Falcons stepping up in a big way today. As we're going to go to the 4th quarter with the Falcons up 7. Buccaneers trying to keep it close. They had a good effort today. But it's Atlanta up by a touchdown entering the 4th. Young players contributing in a big way for these Falcons. First it was Darius Johnson, and then the one-hander by Drew Davis. Someone forgot to tell them that Roddy White and Julio Jones were out today. They are filling in admirably as we start the 4th quarter from the Georgia Dome. Falcons on the move, up by a touchdown. Ryan's just going to dump it off, and that is Tony Gonzalez making moves. The footwork by Tony Gonzalez. He did it all on that play. We get a flag too, so let's see.
Going to be a late hit. Another 15-yarder on the Buccaneers. So not only do they give up the first down to Gonzalez, you're going to have Kelsey McCray, number 35. Gonzalez clearly out of bounds, and he comes and hits him out of bounds. That's just not smart football.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 35, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Watch Gonzalez. He's in here. He's going to help out with the protection. Little chip on Trevor Scott. Then Jacquizz Rodgers comes, and let's get it to Old Faithful. But in his 17th year, this is what's so impressive. He's making people miss. What an athlete, what a performer is Tony Gonzalez.
And just another incredibly silly penalty, the 8th of the day against Tampa Bay. Here's Rodgers on the draw. Jacquizz Rodgers gets it down to the 8-yard line before he stopped there. And the penalties, you just have to say, I mean, how many times? It's how many times personal fouls? That is, what, the 10th personal foul in Atlanta this year? It's
what I'm saying, Kev, they don't do it in little, I mean, they get their bang for their buck. When they go for these, they're 15-yarders, and they're in critical spots.
8 for 68 today.
25.
2nd and 6 Falcons.
25. Ready, ready.
Pressure over the middle. Somehow he finds Rodgers. Touchdown, Atlanta. Through a sea of Bucs comes Jacquizz Rodgers.
What tremendous design by Dirk Cutter, the offensive coordinator. Jacquizz Rodgers, he stands 5'6". Let's lose him in a little crease. Matt Ryan, you talk about the precision of NFL football. Matt Ryan threads the needle. Jacquizz Rodgers does the rest for his 2nd touchdown of the day.
That was impressive. I didn't see him until he appeared at the 2-yard line.
Well, they call him Matty Ice. He's showing us why here in Atlanta. The eyes of a pro.
This game on Fox is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. And by Subway Restaurants. Try the Tuscan Chicken Melt today.
Jacquizz Rodgers, 2 touchdowns on the receiving end today. Well, Roddy White, he's all kinds of fired up. First career 2-touchdown game receiving-wise for Rodgers, and Greg Schiano, he's not in a good place right now. His Bucs are 0-5, looking for their first win. And every time, John, you hit it, go back to that drive. Another personal foul, 15 yards, gives him the gift. It's killed him literally every game. Bosher will kick it off. Page going to try this one from 8 yards deep. And he takes it across the 22, the 23. Wednesday night on Fox, it's the World Series. Carlos Beltran of the Cardinals, David Ortiz, and the Red Sox coverage. Game 1, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern with Fox Sports Live World Series Special. That's on Fox Sports 1. First pitch, 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox. Think of the game last night. Shane Victorino with a grand slam. Fenway went nuts. And that's your World Series setup on Fox. Now it's up to the rookie in the 4th quarter to come back from 2 touchdowns down. And Mike James getting the carry. If you just tuned in, should tell you that Doug Martin got hurt in the 3rd quarter with a shoulder injury. But we should also tell you that this rookie Mike Glenn, John, has really played well.
Well, he's a big, tall guy, 6'6", and he can gun it down the field. He's got a big arm, but he's also displayed incredible poise and accuracy and smarts. Throw it to 83, that's a smart thing. And then the mobility for the 2nd week in a row shows that he can move the chains with his legs as well.
Glennon over the middle, that's Tim Wright. And he's got a first down for the Bucs, and now a late penalty flag once again.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 90, defense, hitting a player on the ground. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Stanley Mapunga, the rookie out of TCU. Mike Smith saying, let me write that name down. And again, just not a smart play. Tim Wright clearly down. There's been an emphasis from the league. That used to be okay. They don't allow that anymore. They're down, stay away from them.
So that gives the Buccaneers some life. 1st and 10, their own 48. Vincent Jackson bottoming your screen against Samuel. Right inside steps looking for Mike Williams into some traffic there. It was the rookie Desmond Trufant, incomplete.
Kevin, I keep going back to Mike Glennon. He's been the most prophetic one. He said, look, Matt Ryan's going to score some points. We got to score him. This is not the way to force the football in. It's a really heady play by Desmond Trufant.
Trufant has been targeted quite a bit when he's been on Vincent Jackson. Falcons blitz coming on the safety blitz, but they get rid of it to Vincent Jackson. And now, oh boy, I think the chain gang got run over there. Got right back up though. Tough young man bouncing right back up.
Vincent Jackson going out of bounds, and the chain guy got in the way of the wrong guy, and Vincent Jackson, classy move, helps him up, and looks like he's doing all right.
I mean, Vincent Jackson, 6'5", 230. That is a tough dude right there to get back up. 3rd and 4. Lennon in trouble, flushed, and is going to dump it off. He was hoping that Leonard would kind of release, but he really had no chance there as pressure came.
You got a lot of game left, but I think you have no choice. You got to play to win, to go for it right here.
Good flag in the secondary, John, too.
Typically in the area of holding, defensive holding, or illegal contact.
While the quarterback was in the pocket, holding, number 28, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Mike Smith was screaming prior to the call that the ball was thrown out of bounds. Holding, it doesn't matter. You hold them, you hold them. And the officials, once again, have an outstanding day all over it.
Meanwhile, it's now Atlanta trying to keep Tampa in the game with a couple bad penalties on this drive. And instead of that being 4th down, it's a first. Ryan Leonard is the tailback now. His first carry of the game. We'll get down to about the 38. Paul Wurlow, the rookie free agent linebacker out of Delaware, with the tackle.
In 2nd down and 7.
Well, this is valuable experience for Glennon. The one thing he hasn't done well so far in his 2 starts, played well in the 4th quarter.
I think Brian Leonard, not all the way there, came out of that play, and great job by the umpire of recognizing the fact that Leonard was struggling, got him off the field. That's a good job. All the emphasis on player safety. That's a smart, not a play, but a smart call by the referee.
This crew's done a really good job today. I think that's Jeff Rice, the umpire today. 2nd and 7 as Leonard leaves. James in the game at back. And Glennon's going to hit James out of the backfield. He cuts inside to the 34. Paul Wurlow again on the stop. Here's what we told you about the struggles in the 4th.
Yeah, that's not good. Now, that's a small sample size, 2 games, and 2 picks against the Arizona Cardinals and Patrick Peterson. That will do that to the rating, but it's something that Mike Glennon understands. I've got to play better when the game matters most, and right here is a great opportunity, as you said, Kevin, valuable experience for the young man.
Tyquan Underwood, 5th-year receiver out of Rutgers, is at the bottom of your screen. Vincent Jackson in motion. Blitz coming. Lennon looking for Jackson, but nowhere near him.
This is 4-down territory. Greg Schiano doesn't even hesitate, keeping Mike Glennon and the Buccaneer offense out there. There's that one-on-one matchup that Glennon has wisely tried to go after some contact, but the officials deem it not enough. Setting up a big 4th and 2.
Gonna throw it. And they've got the first down. They go to the air and get the first down to Underwood with the arm of Glennon.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's Tyquan Underwood's first snap of the day, let alone catch. Here he is working the slot against Trufant. And what a throw. That's a courageous throw. On time, 4th and 2. Tyquan Underwood does an outstanding job bringing the ball in.
That's pretty impressive on a 4th and 1, letting your young quarterback sling it there. That's how Tampa stays alive. Now they're going to go to the air for Jackson, and wrong shoulder. Samuel on the coverage of Vincent Jackson.
It's 2nd down and 10 from the 27.
Vincent Jackson, 8 catches, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns, targeted 18 times.
I was just going to say he looks tired, and you understand why. 18 targets on the day.
Mike James has a good hold. James inside the 20, still going. He's got a first down, and Mike James, in relief of the injured Doug Martin, is playing well.
It's Jeremy Zuttah, the left guard. He's going to come around on the pull. Mike James going to get in behind him, but sees daylight. Doesn't follow his blocker, but then falls forward. This guy's playing good football. Doug Martin, outstanding back. And Mike James, who they planned on playing a little bit, even if Doug Martin was healthy, he's making the most of his reps.
Came into the game with 12 yards. With the Martin injury, he's got 12 carries for 40 yards. 1st and 10. Glennon has Mike Williams, and Williams inside the 10. He's going to be about a yard shy of a first down. With Samuel there on the coverage. 9 minutes to go. Buccaneers down 2 touchdowns. They've got 2 timeouts to go, so it's critical. They've got to score a touchdown here.
We talked earlier about the Asante rules that they talked about. Asante Samuel rules. Nothing short to intermediate to his side. It's 31-17 with 8 minutes and 45 seconds in the 4th quarter. You throw those rules right out. Mike Glennon goes right after him.
Vincent Jackson, he's on the bottom of your screen against Asante Samuel. Draw. James, nowhere to go. Just nothing there on a 2nd and short. They'll make it a 3rd and 1.
It's really good safety play by William Moore, a physical safety. This is what you're talking about, coming up and filling the hole and delivering the blow. Great job by William Moore.
Third and 1. Brian Leonard in the game. Play clock. Does he get it off? He does. They're going to throw it for the end zone. Incomplete. Alford was there on Vincent Jackson. And now you got to go for it on 4th.
Robert Alford's a guy that Mike Smith, Mike Nolan, this staff is very high on, and he shows you why. Standing up against one of the great receivers in the league, getting his hand in there. He's long, he's strong, and he's fast. Robert Alford, a guy that they're very high on in Atlanta.
They threw it on 4th down a moment ago. It's a 4th and 1 for Tampa Bay. A draw to Leonard, and that'll do the trick. Brian Leonard moves the chains. 2 4th down conversions on this monster drive for the Buccaneers, and they've got a 1st and goal.
Last 4th down, they throw it. This time they like the box count. They give it to Leonard. He sees the daylight and gets downhill. And there's the 2 undrafted free agents, R2 and Warlow, but not until Leonard gets the 1st down.
We also had Ted Larson clearing people out at the center position. 1st and goal. Running backpedaling into Nowheresville, and that one's out of bounds. Just throwing it away.
See why there's nobody downfield. Mike Williams, he slips. Good coverage by this secondary. And another penalty for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, holding on Donald Penn.
That's a killer. That is a killer penalty.
Here he is right there, Donald Penn working against Bartu.
Right there. I think at the end it's close. But I mean, here you are, you're at the 5. Now you move back at a 1st and goal to 15, where you have to score a touchdown now. 6:51 to go, down 2 scores. Running again, a lot of time. He's going to take it and run. Nope, throws last-second decision, and Vincent Jackson can't throw it. There's a flag in the end zone, though, so hang on. William Moore is there to try and knock it away. Well, let's see what the penalty is. John, that play took a long time. You wonder if there was an ineligible man downfield. Also, Glennon was close to the line of scrimmage on that throw. We'll see. Yeah.
There are a couple penalties on Tampa. Got a face mask. Here comes Walt Anderson hustling over to Mike Smith.
They're going to get an exclamation. Let's try that again. Explanation. But here's Tampa Bay, John, putting together this tremendous drive. 14 plays, 2 fourth-down conversions. You can't do these things if you want to be a winning team. You just can't.
This whole year they found ways to lose football games, and penalties have been at the top of that list over and over again. Not only penalties, but big penalties in critical situations.
Yeah, the initial, let's see.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Illegal forward pass number 8. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, number 83 of the offense. That penalty is accepted. It will be 15 yards from the previous spot, and it's still first down.
See Vincent Jackson right here trying to get loose. And he grabs Robert Alford. Alford doing a great job covering Alford. You can't stop. You got to keep playing, son.
Took his helmet off. If this doesn't typify the Buccaneers season, I don't know what does. First and goal from the 30. Hand off to James. And he's going to pick up about 6. You need 24 more, and now time is a factor here.
Clock is ticking, and Mike Smith happily watching it continue to tick. Remember, they're right down there in striking distance. 3 penalties later, they're back at the 24-yard line.
10 penalties, turnover, 4 drops, and in those 10 penalties, 3 personal fouls. That's 45 yards right there. Second and goal. And Glennon lets it fly to Williams, who makes the catch, and that'll get him at least close. Down right around the 13-yard line.
Atlanta doing a nice job just keeping the ball in front of you. Let them catch it. Let's make the tackle, and let's let that clock tick, 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 tick. That's your best friend right now.
And I think if you're sitting watching at home, you're thinking, well, how come Tampa isn't hurrying it up? I think the reason is they got to score. Doesn't matter if they don't score a touchdown here. Third and goal, and it's behind Brian Leonard, and now a 4th and goal. Pretty much the game on the line, even though there's 5:17 to play coming up.
We've had a long drive with all these penalties too, and I'm seeing a tired Tampa Bay offense. They're all kind of mulling around. They can't be tired right now because this is a critical down.
Rich McKay on your left, Thomas Dimitroff on your right. President, CEO, and then your GM, left and right. Watch on.
Rich McKay, former general manager of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You know him well. Here's the game on the line. 18th play of the drive on a 4th and goal. Flag flies. Lennon running. Looking, firing, complete. Touchdown! But remember the flag that was in the area of holding. And the indication are not going to count.
Illegal hands to the face, number 75, offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. 10-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
Greg Schiano must want to put his fist through a wall right now. Davin Joseph, the culprit there. Meanwhile, they work on Desmond Trufant, the rookie. It'll be another 4th and goal when we come back. This has been a 9-minute drive for the Buccaneers, but because of penalty after penalty after penalty, they had a 1st and goal at the 5. Now they've got a 4th and goal from the 23. And because of that, they're going to settle for a field goal because the odds of getting 4th and goal from the 23 are slim. So they'll try and keep the game alive. It'll be a 41-yard field goal from Ryan Lindell with 5:05 to go in the game. Obviously, you got to hit this and really hope for some luck. Michael Cain in the hole. And Lindell does his job. 41-yard field goal is good. Buccaneers hanging in. Atlanta's defense somehow hangs on after being on the field for 9 minutes. 31-20, Falcons in front.
Sponsored by the Galaxy Note 10.1. The next big thing is here.
Buccaneers put together a 9-minute 6-second drive, but because of all the penalties, they move back and accept a field goal. Problem is, time's an issue. 5 minutes ago, they're down by 11. And it appears they're going to try an onside kick here.
Kevin, usually that kind of drive's a good thing. Not a good thing when you're down 2 scores.
Yeah, Falcons have their hands team out on the field. You know, consider too for this Bucs offense. Last week they put together a 7-minute 57-second drive against Philadelphia, only to come up with a field goal in the 4th quarter when they needed a touchdown. So it's been a theme. They'll kick it off. Harry Douglas is back deep waiting for it. Keenan will kick it out of bounds, so no time elapses off the clock. Falcons football up 11. 5 minutes to play. The Buccaneers came into today desperate for their first win of the season. And they played hard today, but mistakes again an issue. Tony Gonzalez and Matt Ryan trying to be the finishers and get their 2nd win and get back in the wild card race in the NFC. And with 5 minutes to go here from the Georgia Dome, Falcons up 11. Matt Ryan without Julio Jones, without Roddy White, has 283 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. He's been terrific today. And it's Jacquizz Rodgers on the carry for maybe a yard. You look at this Falcons team, John, and Mike Smith came in here in 2008, the former Jaguars defensive coordinator. Since his Falcons are 57-28. Only the Patriots are better in that time.
He's an outstanding leader, and you see after a bye week, it could go to 5-1 today. This guy's lethal after a bye week. They have a very systematic approach to bye weeks. They go in, they self-scout themselves thoroughly, they address and emphasize what they need to emphasize. This week with the bye week, they had to address some major injuries. They've done it, and they've done it well. Talking about this game, Kevin, absolutely critical right here that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get a stop. They elected to kick it deep after the field goal. You got to have a stop. They have 1 timeout left.
That was Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, who of course brought in Mike Smith and helped draft Matt Ryan, brought in Thomas Dimitroff to run this team. Here's Jacquizz Rodgers, who gets belted. Good play by Jonathan Casillas. So the defense trying to keep the Bucs in and give them a shot, as now I believe they'll call their final timeout of the game.
Plenty of time too. Remember, 2-score game. But what was necessary was that the defense make a stop, and they've put themselves in a good position for a 3-and-out with a 3rd and 16 coming their way.
But you know, you look at where these teams are, just to finish up the thought. I mean, the Bucs again desperate for a win, and it's so many opportunities to win games, but haven't made the plays later. The mistakes like today. And I think the Falcons, John, when you look at them, if they could hold on today and think about what's next, at Arizona next week, winnable game. At Carolina, Carolina's playing better for sure, but it's a winnable game. Bottom line is they could set themselves up at 4-4 with a matchup against Seattle here. And I guess you have to go back to Mike Smith, what he told us yesterday. We can't get to 4-4 in 1 week. But for sure, that's what their goal is here. 3rd and 17. And keep it safe. Try to run the clock to Rodgers. And Rodgers wrapped up inbounds. Clock will run, but the Bucs do their job. 3-and-out. They'll get the ball back, and they've got a shot. Down 11.
And once again, the speed of Levante David. This guy is so fun to watch play the game of football all over the field. He leaves his heart and soul out there each and every week he plays.
That's Eric Page will get back to return the punt. 13 yards is long one today. Falcons don't even have any gunners out on the play. The Bucs are coming. Here they come. Flag flies. Bosher gets off a rocket of a punt. Page back to the 21. Page up to the 35 after a 59-yard punt. But let's see the flag. Wonder if Tampa jumped. So Greg Schiano begging Byron Boston to run out of flags.
It's on Atlanta. They're asking Greg Schiano what he wants to do.
Illegal formation. Number 23 was out on line of scrimmage offense. Tampa Bay has elected to enforce the 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. It's first down.
Yeah, the reason they're going to do that is because it saves time. They need time. They have no timeouts and 3:51 to go. That's why Greg Schiano made that decision.
The guy who's been quiet for them is their tight end, Tim Wright, who was so good last week. I think he's got to come up big. Vincent Jackson, they know they're going to throw to him. Timmy Wright, opportunity for him right now.
4-man rush. Glennon's got Vincent Jackson. And Jackson spins his way to midfield. Should be enough for a first down. The Buccaneers are out of timeouts. 3:40 to go, and they need 2 touchdowns. So they need a lot.
You can't get soft as a defense if you're the Atlanta Falcons. But also just keep the ball in front of you. That's the critical thing right now.
Blitz coming. Glennon sees it. Jackson belted on the play by Moore.
And that Kevin Burkhardt is keeping the ball in front of you. William Moore. They come with the blitz off the slot. And that's driving on the football and arriving with bad intentions. William Moore having an outstanding game for the Atlanta Falcons. Good legal hit. Good physical play. That's playing the safety position.
Meanwhile, Mike Nolan's still blitzing, by the way, so he has heard you, John Lynch, and is not playing soft there. 3:26 to go. Four-man rush. Glennon has Jackson for a first down, and maybe more. Vincent Jackson diving forward. And he just kind of fell down there. I don't know what happened. I thought he had a chance to score.
And you got to think what you like about Mike Glennon. Before Vincent Jackson's even close to being out of that break, that ball is gone. Great anticipation by the rookie quarterback.
First down. Pocket collapsing. Glennon stands in trouble. Gets it away to James. And James is trying to get out of bounds, and he doesn't. He's got to get out of bounds there. 2:48 and ticking, no timeouts. That's going to cost Tampa Bay. It's a 5-yard loss, and more pressures of the seconds gone by. I think we got to hurry up here. Got the 2-minute warning to stop the clock. That's it. Lennon looking for right, drops.
This is what I'm talking about, the anticipation. Mike Glennon, before Vincent Jackson's even out of that break, that ball is gone. And what a grasp by Vincent Jackson. And he just kind of falls down. Turf Monster got him there at the wrong time.
Could have scored. That was so weird. A great look from our guys. Great shot just to see the anticipation. 3rd and 15. Blitz again. Glennon's going to dump it off to Leonard. And Brian Leonard stays on his feet. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. It's going to bring up a 4th down. I mean, they could get another playoff here.
Two-score
Look
game.
at this. They're going to kick a field goal and try and make it an 8-point game.
Absolutely.
And then just kick a field goal and go the onside. That's the route Greg Schiano's going to go.
Smart play, I think. You need 2 scores anyway.
The rushing out, 2:01. They're going to get it off for the 2-minute. They will not. Greg Schiano tried to rush out the special teams unit to get it off. He couldn't. Of a field goal attempt to make it a 1-score game when we come back. Greg Schiano trying to pull out a miracle in the 4th quarter with his Bucs against Mike Smith, coming off the bye, looking to get back in the playoff race in the NFC. So here's the scene. 2 minutes to go. Falcons up 31-20. Tampa Bay will line up for a field goal attempt, and then if they hit it, try to get the onside kick, and they'll need touchdown and a 2-point conversion. It's a lot, but they got a shot if they hit the field goal. Remember that coming up after the game, the State Farm post-game show. A lot going on. Great finish coming up with the Jets and Patriots, Redskins and Bears. First, Lindell's got to hit this field goal. It's a 35-yard attempt. And Lindell does the job. The Buccaneers have a shot. So they'll need the extra point, excuse me, the onside kick, but John, they've hung in here. I mean, this is they've had mistake after mistake. I mean, but bottom line, they got a shot in the end.
Well, they're resilient. They keep playing. That's to be sure. But it just makes you think, had they not shot themselves in the foot so many times? But last series, great job by the defense, 3 and out, going down, getting a quick score. Now you got to execute an onside kick. Tough to do in the league these days with the rules that limit overloading aside. We'll see if they can get it done.
Dave Wannstedt in the huddle. He is the special teams coach. How often do you practice an onside kick? How often does this come into play, if at all?
Every week on Fridays. You do it every week. You practice so many situations. That's what this league's about. Dave Wannstedt, former head coach in this league, all over the details. They practice this often. And different approaches to the onside kick. We'll see what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Dave Wannstedt dream up right about now.
Michael Kanan is a guy that will try it. Last time they had an onside kick work was back in 2011. And the whistle blows. Atlanta has called the timeout. It's their first timeout of the half. We've got a game break. Check in with Joel Klatt.
All right, Kevin, let's go up to Philadelphia. Tony Romo finds Terrence Williams, 9 yards. 17-3 Cowboys. Nick Foles left the game. Matt Barkley came in and threw a pick to Sean Lee. Lots going on in Philadelphia.
Meanwhile, the Cowboys are about to take control of the NFC East with that win, and the Redskins are hoping to get back in the race. Matt Ryan, 17-1 with throwing 3 touchdowns. He has been brilliant today, but right now the game's out of his hands.
We talked about Matt Ryan earlier. It doesn't matter who he's throwing to. It's sure nice to have Julio Jones and Roddy White, but Darius Johnson, Drew Davis, we can get it done with those guys as well.
Michael Kanan, the onside, little trickery. And the ball is picked up by Deku. And the game is over.
Outstanding play by Deku. They fake it over to the right, and then a quick shift over to the left. And Deku's going to be right there. Goes up, plucks that ball confidently, and gets down. Very nice play by Thomas Deku.
He had to be aggressive, because if that got by him there, it's in open territory.
Wins have been tough to come by this year for Mike Smith and the Atlanta Falcons, but believe me, they believe they can fight their way back into this thing. That's a big part of the battle, just believing. They're going to get some guys back. Sean Weatherspoon will be back. Roddy White at some point. Steven Jackson.
Look at the shotgun for Atlanta. Reason being, remember on that victory formation, Greg Schiano was pushed the pile before. Philly did this last week. And Atlanta copying that now. Here's the Falcons schedule. John, we'll be at that game in Arizona next week. But Mike Smith getting these guys in position with all these injuries. And I go to what Matt Ryan told us on being 1-4. Maybe they get some guys back. Steven Jackson on your left. Witherspoon, the linebacker, on your right. He said Mike Smith's message has been on point. A ton of football left. We've been in every game. Got to trust some of those plays will come our way. They have today. Vincent Jackson looks on despite 10 catches, 138 yards, and 2 TDs. Buccaneers are going to go to 0-6.
Here's those kneel downs, Kevin, you alluded to. This is versus the New York Giants. Greg Schiano hearing it from Tom Coughlin and the Philadelphia Eagles last week. They take that approach. Schiano won't come after him when it's more than a 1-score game, but Mike Smith protecting his franchise and Matt Ryan, he doesn't want to take any chances.
Mike Smith going to feel good. His team's going to, after that bye, that is sit on that tough loss to the Jets. They're going to get their second win, go to Arizona next week. And for Greg Schiano and the Buccaneers, they're 0-6. They've lost 11 of their last 12. Tough times in Tampa Bay. The Falcons win it 31-23. We'll come back to Atlanta to wrap it up and then take you to the big finish between the Bears and Redskins. So stick around. Falcons win it, their second win of the year, 31-23 from the